Are we on yet? Are we there yet? How much longer? Um, I think we're on. Okay. Well, hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Desert Inkwell. It is Thursday, October the 23rd. Well, hello, Sue. Nice to see you. All right, enough singing because that's not gonna go well. Today I have a couple exciting topics to discuss. One is further development in my currently inked struggles, some gift ideas, some thoughts on Fountain Pen Day, and maybe some video ideas upcoming. And I took notes. I have notes. I have lost the notes. I found them. Sad as it may be, this may be the last video filmed from the comfort of my chair. The office is finally put back together, and my back is in good enough shape that I can sit in my office for an hour. Um, 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 I would like $1 for every time I say. So, okay, let's start with currently inked. Of course, I'm unprepared. I keep transitioning back and forth between two bags. A friend of mine was very kind and sent me an art supply bag, and I love it. Um, and so I keep going back and forth between the two, trying to decide which one I want to use as my house purse. Uh, so I'm going to start with what I was doing for currently inked, which was listing the ink here with a small swatch, and you may recognize this is a Hobonichi Weeks. Hi, Suzette. Welcome, welcome. This isn't a bad idea, like notebook wise. However, Hobonichis are not on the side of like super affordable, in my opinion. And based on the paper scenario, I didn't have any paper issues in this one, but the problem I was having is that I was trying to follow the currently inked with whatever that particular dated week was. And so there's a lot of skipped weeks in here, uh, which essentially means unless I go back and trim those pages out, the paper is lost. And so I don't think that's a good use of funds. Uh, Had I not paid attention to the dates from the beginning, it would be okay. But if you are really on top of the ball and you do a new currently inked every week, then a week's might be a good idea for you. I like also the size. Sorry, let me put that down here. The size was good. It didn't take up too much room in my house purse or my journaling bag that kind of followed me around. Let me check my notes here. I want to make sure we stay on. Okay, so I was using the weeks, had some wasted paper, and it was on the pricier side. What I'm doing now is I think I reviewed this a little bit last week, is that I am using last year's Aura Estelle planner, and I'm ignoring the dates. So if the dates don't bother you, buying a discounted version of whatever planner you enjoy from, say, the previous year. If you like the paper on a Midori planner or a Muji planner or Estelle, that can be a good way to get a lot of usable paper at a discount. Part of the reason I ordered this one, why I have it here, is because this is the Aura Estelle huge mega planner. It's called the Magnet Planner this year. It's the planner I plan on using for 2026, and I didn't know if I would like the paper, and so I bought the 2025. I don't know, 2 months ago. It was on sale for $14, and so that gave me an opportunity to test the paper. So I decided, yeah, this is the planner I'm going to use. But then I had all of this real estate without a purpose. And so I started using this for my currently inked, just and a date stamp, which I'm not very good at. So I've had to write it in. Hi, Becky. I was just mentioning that lovely art supply bag that you sent as a gift. Okay, so currently inked. I draw the little boxes on the side with a fine liner, which of course super easy to do because this is a grid paper. And then I list the name and model of the pen and the nib size. I guess if I show you, next line down is the color or blank material, then the ink maker, and then the color name. And then I do my little swatch here, and I just do it with the nib. I'm not sure it's worth the extra trouble to do it with a Q-tip and fill that in. I feel like that's just kind of gonna burn through a lot of Q-tips. At the very bottom, I've been trying to do like what was the inspiration for the inks this week. What my thought was, did I choose the inks to match the planner spread, or is it use a glass spoon? No. Yeah, maybe the smaller end. I like to stay colored in the lines, but that's a good idea, Suzette. Thank you. So I try and summarize what my thoughts were on picking those colors and pens. Let me take a breath. It was such a long break from doing YouTube that I get all nervous again. So, where was I? Okay, theme. It recently came up. Simone mentioned in a video, do you choose your ink first and then choose your pens to go with the ink, or which is what she does, I believe, or do you choose your pen and then choose the ink to go with it? And generally speaking, I choose the pen and then choose the ink to go with it. And a lot of times I'm choosing the pens and the ink based on whatever my planner spread is. And I think, let me see if it's in arm's distance. I think you guys have seen, but in case you have not, this has appointments in it, so I'll just hold it up really quick. This is kind of what I do for a planner spread every week. It's the Monday through Sunday on the left, and then blank page on the right. And I use washi and stickers, and that's kind of my fun, decorative, kind of junk journal aspect. Creative outlet. It gives me a chance to just be fun, do fun things. And so I'm normally doing that first and then choosing everything backwards. But as part of my currently inked new rules, and I'll get into those in just a second, is I want to focus on inks that I've either never used, because yes, like that's the thing. I have inks that I have never used, or I have inks that I have hardly used, and I am at full capacity with ink right now. And I mean full capacity. I'm either right at or just over 400 bottles of ink. Um, the only problem with that is there's so many, it makes it really hard to choose ones that are outside that kind of bubble of your go-to inks. And so I want to destash some of those, but I can't do that until I'm done cataloging all of those by color. Because a lot of them, like Birmingham Penco makes a great ink, but a lot of them are just minutely or ever so slightly different from each other. And I'm not creating classic art. I know. Um, I was as surprised as the next person, but I really don't need 6 Birmingham Penco inks that are all really close to, say, the Ohio River or Boiler Steam. There's a lot that are similar, and I think, you know, you could make the argument to keep more than one, but I don't need that many. So the other thing is if you destash inks before they're cataloged, you may end up buying the same ink. You may end up buying it again. I could end up buying it again. And even it's gotten to the point I can't do ink swaps with people necessarily because I will get inspired to buy more ink and I don't have room. I don't have room and it's clutter in my brain. So we were talking about currently inked. Let's see. Emma the Gray says, I can't manage my 30 without anxiety, right? I mean, it gets to be a lot. And so imagine 400 is, yeah, it stresses me out in that way. Okay, currently inked. So here's my plan, and I am committing to you, my closest, dearest friends, that I'm going to do my best to stick to this. I'm excited about it. Is every other week, I'm going to ink 6 pens that are officially part of my currently inked. So this week, I have them here. Uh, oh, sorry, brain hiccup. This is in the Rickshaw Fillmore, and this one was designed by Claudia, and I believe the White Bear pens. I love the Aurora Borealis. I love the Arctic. I love that whole vibe. And so this was a no-brainer. Had to have it. And my friend Claire Coco helped and asked a friend of hers that who was at the pen show to pick one up for me, and I'm super grateful for that. And so that holds 6 pens, so that is perfect for me. 6 pens currently inked, and instead of trying to swap them every week, I am going to do every other week. And you get to see it here first. At the start of each month, I'm going to do 3 pens that are currently inked for that entire month. And these will probably be pens that I'm more likely to use for journaling or something consistent throughout the entire month. The first pen that's listed in there is my Pilot Vanishing Point, and I am using an ink that I had not used, which is Birmingham Penco Burleywood. I don't know how well the color accuracy is here, but beautiful, beautiful ink, in my opinion. Let's see here. Sue says, I have so many inks that are super close in appearance, right? Um, so I'm going to do these up to 3. It may only be 1. It could only be 2. Those will stay inked for the entire month. So that'll give me, at any given point in time, 9 pens inked. And I have a bad habit of not cleaning pens, per se. Not even per se. I hate cleaning pens. Um, so I think switching to every other week, A, lets me use more ink, lets me get a better experience with that ink, and then I can move them into a Fillmore. So if those 6 pens, I was really enjoying them, I don't necessarily have to clean them. Do you like how I built I built in a clause where I don't have to do the thing I don't want to do, but I can move them into a Fillmore. And so all of the pens in the previous Fillmore are kind of blues, teals, and greens. And all of the ones in this one, this is Claire Coco's design. I was really fortunate to receive this as a get well present when right after my surgery. This is all inked with kind of orange and brown colored inks and pens. And so it's almost like a grab and go situation. I mean, they do need to be cleaned. Um, and so I have to hold myself accountable this year. I don't know if anyone has any tips, tricks on cleaning pens or how you kind of nudge yourself to do that when you don't want to do it. I did use my 3D printer to print out a little drying rack for the caps or barrels. Let's see. What did Sue say? Um, how do I do this? I'm a terrible pen parent. Do we need to call PPS, Pen Protective Pen Protective Services? I am happy to take your pens into custody here, Sue. If uh, thank you. I don't know what started. I have a few of those rickshaw cases. The elephants from Claire, this Aurora from Claudia, and White Bear pens. I have one that is from the Well Appointed Desk, I believe. And what other? I have one from the Ohio Pen Club that was gifted by my friend Sue. And then, oh, yes, the Sugar Turtle Studio, one that looks like the box of Crayola pens. I bought that at the DC Pen Show and absolutely thought it was the coolest, most fun design. Sunday is pen cleaning day for me. Oh, Sunday's already chore day. Yeah, I mean that makes Suzette. I'll be a foster pen parent. And Pilly Wiggins says, I like to clean out while I'm watching fountain pen YouTube videos. Okay. That actually that's a good idea. For sure, because you know, then you're entertained. The thing is, I don't wash them in the bathroom either. I fill like 3 big steel mixing bowls, um, and then do it at the desk in my office. So I could be watching YouTube videos and cleaning pens. I love that idea. Why didn't I think of that? Um, okay, we covered currently inked. So, as you know, I've been home from work since the 8th of September. And, initially, like, I wasn't doing a whole lot of anything except sleeping and recovering. Hi, Simone. Have you spilled your new currently inked system? I did, but I'll do a quick recap because I adore you. I am going to do 3 pens that are inked for the entire month, and then 6 pens that get inked and rotated out every other week. So what I was doing was any number of pens, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, and I was doing that every week. And I, as as Sue said, she's a bad pen parent. So am I, uh, in in terms of like cleaning my pens, and so it's just not an effective go forward system. I'm sure you all will understand, but I'm going to show Simone the layout. So here's the layout for the monthly pens that I'll do. It's up to 3 and no more, and those can stay inked all month. And then 6 pens every other week. And here's the layout, and I list the pen maker, the specific color or material, the ink maker, and then the ink color. And I do my little swatch here. And I'm using an out of date planner from Aura Estelle, which is a good money saving tip, I think, to use good paper. And certainly that $14 was cheaper than, buying a Hobonichi notebook, which last time I checked was half the paper and $23. Um, then, uh, sorry, quick recap. I'm going to store pens at the end of currently inked. If I don't want to wash them out because I'm heavily using them, I'll move them into a different Fillmore case and keep them on hand to use, like a grab and go. So then I was just kind of moving into the more time I'm at home and have had a chance to really take a look at my pen collection and kind of my motivations behind them is that I get as much joy out of an inexpensive pen that's made well. I get as much joy from that as I do from using, an expensive Pelican or Pelicon. And it's not that I don't recognize the craftsmanship of the Pelican, because I do. They're phenomenal and probably my favorite higher end pen. But recently, let me grab this. Um, I think if you've seen my Instagram or watched these videos before, you know that I am a die-hard Bone Crushers 7 Studios Velma fan. Um, this was the first one I purchased, which is Glacier Ice. And sad for others, but I guess kind of not sad for me, is that he's unable to recreate this particular blank. And so that's kind of a one of a kind thing. But I saw on Amazon this, I think it's gorgeous. It is just a cigar shaped pen. The material is really pretty. Uh, an Asvine C80. So it has a steel nib in it. It's a number 8 nib. This one did not need to be tuned, thankfully, because I am not so good at um, tuning pens. But this wrote very nicely right out of the box, and um, I've purchased 3 of them now. So I have, this is light blue. This one is like an emerald glitter, and I'll show you the last one in just a second. Um, Lorelai is going to have a great mail week. I just sent a pen out to her as well. So these are $28. Now, I enjoy this pen. Like, I reach for these a lot. They're comfortable. The step down isn't major. The threads aren't terrible at all. I love it. I absolutely love it. And it was $28. And so I did a little math today. And these are all Amazon Prime prices. So I mean, if you can find them less expensive elsewhere, you can get the pen for $28. You can get replacement nibs. 2 of them is $13. I based it on using a USPS small flat rate box for shipping, and the average of between $50 and $60 for a nib grind. That you could buy the pen. So say you buy it with a fine nib and buy 2 replacement nibs and have, say, a cursive italic done on one and an architect nib done on the other, including shipping those out to the Nibmeister, your favorite Nibmeister, for under $200. That is a decent pen. I think it's a great pen. I haven't had any drying issues. Um, I am live now. um, for under $200. That's a pen with 3 different nibs on it. That is a fantastic proposition. I've also noticed that over the past year or so that I find myself selling pens to, say, buy another pen. And so I'm now realizing, like, I don't know, call me the slow kid in the room. I don't know, that I can sell pens and I don't have to immediately buy a new pen. And so it's great to have, say, 2 pens go out and none come in. Which that's not going to make sense in a second when I show you the new pen that came today. Hey, Lenny. Hey, the folks at Bone Crusher 7 Studios have joined us today, just in time to see some mail that I got from them. Pens I've been missing, like I did purchase a Benu Euphoria, and this is Atlas exclusive in the color Wolf Point. And I think stupidly, I don't know, sold my vodka on the rocks and bourbon, I guess, like in the past year at some point, and I miss him. And so it's like I think I sold them to buy another pen. And so I think it's better for me if I don't have the money to buy the other pen, then don't buy it, but keep the pens that I have and love. I will show you. This was another one of those Asvine C80s. This is the brown and gold. And I have this inked with, see, it's a silver nib, but for what, $7, $6.50, I can buy a gold colored nib for it. But I got a pen today. I got penabled. I wasn't even at the Denver Pen Show, and I got penabled. And despite my fake tone of indignance, I am not mad about it at all. Because I received the absolutely perfect, and I'm not just saying this because they're here, Bone Crusher 7 Studios. This is their olive model. This light is not doing anything for the beauty of this pen. Let me try this. Is that better? This is in the material Rocky Top, which is a diamond cast resin. Um, it's a little thinner than the Velma, but sometimes I want a thinner pen. Like I'll reach for an SD because they're on the thinner side sometimes. And I think Bone Crusher Studios is essentially just trying to take over my pen collection until it's all Velmas and Wilmas and Olives. And truth be told, like I'm fine with it. Um, I mean, their pens are exceptional. Again, not sponsored and not saying that because they're here. Um, I think they are phenomenal pens, and the polish on them is great. It's such a wide array of blanks and materials. Uh, it doesn't always have to be, a Leonardo. I mean, I'm not going to turn down a Leonardo with a number 8 Lafayette nib. Um, but I wouldn't turn I wouldn't necessarily buy that over a bone crusher. You can put a gold nib on a Velma. Um, I enjoy them a lot, and I enjoy that I have a wide array of them. Now, I did see a question here that caught my eye. Lorelei said, "What's your opinion of the Esterbrook Peanuts series pen?" Um, Okay, Sue said it's a gorgeous pen, but she's talking about an olive, and you do need an olive. Um, so the Esterbrook Peanuts pen, I messaged this publicly. I mean, they are never going to have me do sponsored content for them. They look like hotel pens. That's what they remind me of. It's like the clip looks like a baby food spoon. It's kind of a really weird shape. Uh, Lucy's the one with brown hair. Well, the girl with black hair was in a blue dress, but it's striped. I don't know. And then the Snoopy pen, the one you think they would kind of go the extra mile on, just has the name Snoopy on the side of it. I don't know. The little T-shirt cleaning cloth is cute, but I think instead of like the pen sleeping bag thing, if they had gone all out and you could get Snoopy's doghouse, then there were holes to put the pens in them. Say if you bought the whole set, you could have them all in there. That would have been fantastic. Uh, I mean, if you look at the Avalanche, which was released this year, that one came with this like flannel pouch, and I don't need the pouch, but I thought it was like a cohesive design idea. And sadly, like Charlie Brown pen could have been, have a zigzag cap band and then have his shirt color. I don't know. It just I don't I don't think they went as far as they could. That's my opinion. Not to say they didn't put effort in. Like I don't want to badmouth Esterbrook. I have um, a couple of them, and you know, I think the Esterbrook SD is a great pen. I just think that the design kind of missed the mark on this particular series of pens. So let's see. Handmade by Lorelei says agreed. Simone says blurg. Suzette says the Snoopy pen makes her sad. Sue says she feels let down by the design. I'm going to post this one. Good grief sums it up. I mean, I think that's accurate. right? I mean, not every pen design is going to be for everybody, but Lorelai, I agree. It's also like the pen is a different model, right? It's like the cap is slanted at the top. I was watching Goldspot's review of them, and are they metal? He said they had a little heft to them. Um, and so it's just not a, I don't know. I don't know. It's not for everyone, but I've heard that they did really well, and so good for them. Um, yeah. Um, Fountain Pen Day is coming up. Um, the it's the first Saturday of November, if I am correct, which puts it um not this Saturday, but oh wow, next Saturday. Um, so does anyone have, are there any plans? Who's got what plan for Fountain Pen Day? Anyone? Anyone have any pen that they've been saving up for or not saving up for? No? Bueller? Lorelei? Sue? Suzette? um, I do not. I am uh, wanting to spend time with the pens that I have recently purchased, which are those three Asvine C80s. And of course, my new Olive. And I inked the Olive, by the way, if anyone's curious, with Colorverse Multijay. It's orange and then has a green sheen to it. Let's see. Oh, what's this? Bone Crusher has a pen to give away for my show. That's amazing. I also have heard from a bird that coming up here, Bone Crushers, kind folks are going to be guests on the show. So, I mean, I really could not be more pleased. I have not fallen more head over heels with a pen than I did with my Bone Crushers pens. It's perfect. They're perfect for me. Um, so where are we going with this? Okay, Fountain Pen Day. I have pointers if you don't have plans for a pen. Things to stock up on: paper, notebooks, inserts, like those don't go bad. And so if they have good sales on paper, that's what I will stock up on. Um, I know, I'm speechless. Um, I can't believe that. Um, I don't know the detail. Like, do we need to talk about this offline? What's I don't know. Um, yeah, we'll do a. I'm at a loss of words, which is a situation I don't normally find myself in. Um, am I the highest fan? I mean, I could be. I'm not. But I am a huge fanboy. So, um, I'm speechless. I don't have the words. Well, I guess we will I don't know. um Perfect. That is coolest news. Okay. So oh, how exciting. Um that is so cool. Whee! That just made my whole day and my whole week. Because that means that someone who's been listening to me go on and on about Velma's has a chance to get one and experience that awesomeness for themselves. That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Um, wow. Uh, stock up on paper on Fountain Pen Day. Um, don't forget if you do the Secret Santa gift exchange, um, try and buy some neutral items. You know what, Simone, I think 9 Velmas and 1 Olive, and I just saw somebody else's channel today who bought an absolutely stunning Velma at the Denver Pen Show. And then I know Sue got one and Claire got one. I am happier that somebody else will get to experience that than me. Sure. I mean, who wouldn't love a pen, but I'm happier that someone else gets to experience that, because for real, I go on and on about them. So that's great. Like, I'm happy that someone else will get that opportunity. Um, yes, indeed. Yeah, Suzette. I know Suzette's had to listen to me go on and on about it. Oh, look at this. I love that. Bought their first Velma because of me. Yeah, I hope you're absolutely loving it. And Pilly Wiggins says it's great when you find a maker that you love. You know what? That's true, because it's hard enough to find a pen that you enjoy, but then a pen that you enjoy that really is just really well made, right? For me, there's no uh what's the word? There's no exception. No, that's not the word. I wish English was my first language. Like, when I say I love the Velma, like, it's exceptionally made. The threads are fantastic. The fit and finish are fantastic. The weight, the size. I love the little finial on top. It's such a classy finishing touch. There's no, I love them, and they're both just fantastically nice people. Um, yeah, I had a chance to meet James and April at the DC Pen Show in person this year. I mean, we've corresponded back and forth, and then um, I talked to them at the Denver Pen Show remotely, where I was penabled. Um, but they're like really, just really nice people, and so yeah, I am happy to talk it up. Um, Proselytize the Velma and now the Olive. Um, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I know, because I mean, I just sold a pen in the Rocky Top, blank. But it wasn't the immediate, like, yes. Um, Sue says she held. I love that. Velma's blushing. Um, Sue says she held one for the first time and wasn't able to walk away from it. 100% agree with the quality and how nice and wonderful they are. That is, yeah, that's truth. Hashtag truth. Um, yeah, so I love that. I love that, I will definitely be excited for whoever that is. Okay, fountain pen day. This thought is never, I'm never going to get this thought out of my head. Notebooks, small notebooks. If there's an ink that you've been wanting to try and you're 50-50, um, so, you can get a good deal on an ink. I don't necessarily think that just because something is on sale, you should buy it. Meaning, I don't feel obligated to spend a lot of money on fountain pen day just because things are on sale. If it's something that you've really been wanting and the sale price is good, yeah, sure, go for it. This is your therapy moment here by an unlicensed, not practicing therapist. But yeah, like if the price is good on something you already want, yeah, sure, go for it. But I would caution because I have done this in the past. You get caught up in the moment and this is on sale and oh look, this is 20% off. Well, it's 20, yeah, 20% off is great if it's something that you actually want. Let's see here. We are slow to comment. We are listening to you in the shop. James is at the lathe and I'm casting. Um, we are truly humbled by all your kind words. Well, we are appreciative of the quality of work and creative pens that you guys make. Yeah. Yep, Becky, that is true. It's only a sale if you need it. I mean, there's not a lot of needing going on in this hobby, I don't think, but wanting for for sure. Uh, I think I think if you buy it and you don't need it, it's a it's a hoarding. But a good deal can be a good deal. Let me check my notes because I get scatterbrained. Um, let's see. I discussed the Asvine C80 and how that's a good deal, especially if someone is just getting started in the hobby. That Asvine C80 on its own for $28 really looks and performs like a more expensive pen does. Um, I know it's a steel nib. We'll leave it there because people are really particular about their nibs, but they write really well. I think it would be a really good experience for a new pen user. I know everyone was all up and excited about, was it the uh, who made the Vanishing Point knockoff? Is it Mahjong 10? Um, oh my goodness. Come on, brain. Yip yip. You know the one. It looked like the Vanishing Point. They had some trouble drawing out. They started off at like $10 or $12 and then went up to like I think 50. Uh Jinhao, thank you. Oh my god, old age here. So that Jinhao 10 was I think really nice looking, but I wouldn't want to give a new pen user say a Jinhao 10 and then have to explain the pen may dry out and here's what you have to do to fix it. Yeah, so that I wouldn't give a new pen user. The Asvine C80, 100%. I stand by that. Great pen to get a new user, and they look fantastic. Um, I recently, la la la. I know, Lenny, I know. Um, Value is in the perception of the user. Um, I bought a Vanishing Point LS at the DC Pen Show in this aubergine color. I didn't know what the LS stood for. It stands for luxury and silence because it doesn't really make a noise. I do love watching if you just get it started. Bloop. Pen gets a little excited. Um, I feel like I haven't measured it because that's scientifical. It feels a little thicker to me than a Vanishing Point, and definitely thicker than a Decimo. Um, but I just wasn't loving the writing experience. And so um, Kirk Spear did a mini stub grind on this nib and totally changed my use and perspective of the pen. Like it became a good writing experience. It would be better if it didn't have that clip there. If I could get rid of that clip, I would probably have way more vanishing points. But for the function of this pen, it was like I had to make myself get over the clip because it just like it's so nice that you can just click and write. And so let me see if there's a blank page here. Let's see. Here's a little writing example. I think it's out of focus, but yeah, he did a fantastic job. And I was like, why have I never thought of having nib grinds done on a vanishing point? Um, yeah. It was like, oh, that's fantastic. Can you imagine a cursive italic? I'd probably go with a smooth cursive italic. And I have an extra nib unit. Um, so I think I might do that. That would be fantastic on starting like on a medium cursive, medium smooth cursive italic. That sounds funny. Is it cursive smooth italic? You know what I mean. Um, yeah, he does such fantastic work. Sue, I agree. And um, Quirk and his wife Crystal also nicest people. Uh, yeah, just he does a fantastic job, and he's got a good sense of humor, and yeah, he's good conversation when you're sitting there having nibs done. I think from when I ordered that nib grind, like it was done and delivered in like a week. There's something between Denver and Phoenix, which is not that far. Like mail takes longer than if I send something to a friend in Florida. Maybe all those mountains they have to go over. So I don't know if anyone else has had nib grinds, like anyone else here today has nib grinds done on a vanishing point. But if you have, and there's some that work particularly better than others, like please drop a comment or message me on Instagram because I'm excited about that. Also, if you've heard of any company that I'm not messing with this one, but removes the clip without leaving a big hole in the pen, if you're aware of any company that does that, please let me know. Like if there's a little replacement thing they can put there, I would love that. What else I got going on? What's going on with you guys? Anyone buy anything new? Um, I know Sue, you got a vanishing point. Okay, here's my come clean moment. Um, I determined when going through my pens that I was spending an unnecessary amount of money on pens to kind of stay with the current trend or whatever the newest, hottest pen. And I am not going to do that anymore. That is my goal. I am going to stick with pens that I know and pens that I love, even if they're. Um, oh, Becky, I'll get into that in just a second. I'm going to stick with pens that I love. And if that means I end up with a case of Velma's, Diplomat Arrows, Estes, Pelicans, although I'm not going to be, bulk buying Pelicans, then I'm fine with that. The hobby is for me to enjoy. Like, I have a couple pens right now that I don't really use, um, that were expensive. And so keep an eye out on my Instagram. You saw, like, I just destashed some Galen leather pen books, and some pens are going to be following behind it. I think the one most people will be excited about is the Aurora Ancient Maps, Ptolemeo, and then um, the Ebonite Esterbrook Esty, the Accutron Astronaut one. I just don't use it. I don't use it. So I think that can go. Am I going to the Pelican Hub? So I did not sign up for the Pelican Hub this year because I didn't know what my mobility would be. And I am the only driver in my home. So, like, if I couldn't drive. Anyway, so I didn't sign up. But I'm on the email chain from last year, and there's been all of these emails back and forth. Um, Apparently, Hubmeister, the Hub Master, is that it? The Hub Master just like is ghosting everyone. There is one because one gentleman called or emailed Pelican, or the organizers of it, and sent an email to the Hubmaster, but she didn't respond, and so there's been a flurry of emails back and forth that, like, the Hubmaster just ghosted. But, like, doesn't Pelican send ink and little stickers or notebooks to the Hubmaster to distribute at the Pelican Hub? Like, what are they hoarding? 20 or 30 bottles of apricot colored ink? Um, it's just shady. Like, that's for some people, especially in smaller areas, like where I live, there's not pen clubs. I think we're trying to start a pen club, but yeah, like, this is a big deal for a lot of people, and just to ghost everyone was unpleasant, sir. Sorry, I'm being stalked at the moment. Come here. No, okay then. Our little dog Beans is whining because he wants to go outside, and I'm seeing the time is now 4:58, which means they probably need FOOD and their medication and all of their nighttime goings on. So I think I will sign off now. Um, Definitely stay tuned for um, the Bone Crusher 7 Studios pen for a viewer, and I'm excited for somebody for that. Wow. That was super generous. And thank you all for taking time out of your week to spend it with me. I'm again Really super appreciative. I will definitely say hi to the puppies, and you all have a fantastic week. Have a great Pelican Hub. That's tomorrow, right? Um, yeah, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. Until then, keep your nibs up and I don't know, do the thing. Have fun. Do the thing. All right. Bye, all. Now I gotta find this button. I can never find the button. Okay, here we go. End stream. End stream. There we go. Did I do it? What if I picked my nose and we're still on the thing?